Yeah, man, this is where it all began for me at. I moved to South Carolina in 2018, and I was staying in a room at my sister's house, my younger sister. And it was just me and my daughter, you know what I'm saying? My daughter was a baby, and I had full custody of her, but I knew I had to come out here and succeed. I didn't know anybody out here. I didn't know what was going on. I just knew I wanted more in life.
I am a king, I feel like a king, I live like a king, I know I'm a king. I am a king, I feel like a king, I live like a king, I know I'm a king. I am a king, I just wanted you to know. And I serve a king that sit high and look low. Cause I am a king, I feel like a king, I live like a king, I know I'm a king. I am a king, I feel like a king, I think like a king, I know I'm a king. I am a king, I just wanted you to know. And I serve a king that could save my soul.
What's up, what's up, what's up? It's your boy Freshie the Fly Guy, man, and I'm here with an amazing dude. Like, this is my family, this is my cousin, my brother from another mother, and we are here on Bars for Breakfast to bring y'all some official information and to talk about some things. So real quick, man, first of all, big shout out to you, man. You already know my guy, like, you my A1 day one, man. Tell the people who you are and what you about, man.
Yeah, like I said, man, I go by the name NewIsreal. And we all family, bro, you know what I'm saying? We from Brooklyn, New York. I do music, I'm an artist, I write, songwriter, and an author. I just dropped my first book, From Behind the Bars.
Okay. So, look, he already telling you what it is. Look, he ain't playing, he coming straight at you, letting you know what it is. So, you know, what I admire most about you is that you a family man, you know what I'm saying? And I'll never forget this day. Like, it was 2014, and I was getting my hair cut by our uncle and joint. Like, he was cutting my hair, and you was on the phone, but you was on speakerphone. And I don't think we seen each other probably like for 10 years, bro. It's been a minute since we actually able to sit down. And when I heard you talking and what you was talking about, I'm like, yo, who that? You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, who? And it was so powerful because even through the phone, I could tell that you had knowledge, that you were fully aware of what's going on in the world today. So that's why I wanted to get you on this episode of Bars for Breakfast, because the people need to understand the different elements that you come from and where you started seeing things change and what made you get into the lanes you got into. So we're going to get into your book and everything like that. But first and foremost, I want to talk about your faith. You know what I'm saying? Because I've always known you to be a true man of God, man. So tell us about your faith.
Man, you know, I learned to believe in Christ, and Christ is unseen. You know, I believe in what I can't see, because what I can't see, I can rely on. Like my vision, God, everything we can see eventually fades away. It's temporary.
Right.
So when you rely on what you can see, once it fade away, you no longer have faith.
Wow.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So it's like when people start believing in material things,
right,
and those things fade away, then your belief fades away.
Exactly.
Wow, that's crazy.
Think about it. Everything unseen controls the scene. We didn't see what made the sun come up today.
Right.
But we could rely on it.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? We didn't see
fact.
what wake us up today. So
Right.
everything unseen, just like our vision. Our vision is not physical yet, so that's what keeps us going. Faith is what gives you a reason to get out the bed, bro.
Dope. So was you always like, you know what I'm saying, into the Bible, a church kid? Like, tell us about your background growing up.
Actually, I did grow up in church, but I didn't find God in church. If that makes sense.
Did you hear that? We're talking about being raised in the church but didn't find God there. So where would you say you found God at?
I would say I found God at my lowest point in life. You know, I was in jail, and I wasn't like, I used to go to church, but I used to either fall asleep. I played the drums. You know, it's like God wouldn't let me be indoctrinated by, you know, the modern day Christianity.
Right.
So, you know, if you was ever young and was going to church and God always had you falling asleep or not really getting a message, he didn't want those seeds planted.
Wow.
You know, he wanted you to be a virgin.
Wow.
So when you get the truth, you won't be trying to compare it for what you already been taught.
Right,
you get what I'm saying? So it was like, I was at my lowest point. I did some time in jail out in LA, you feel what I'm saying? And when I came home, I was broken. You feel what I'm saying? I felt like I failed, you know. I felt like I lost and I gave up. And that's when it showed me it take humility to receive God. You know, God will put you on the sit, because if I wasn't broken, I would have rejected it, thinking I knew it all. You know what I'm saying? My sister Chrissy, you know what I mean? she used to call me, bro, when I was in LA, bro. And I don't even think she knew what she was doing.
Right.
At the time, she was just talking about God.
Right.
And it was like one day, bro, I just woke up, bro, and my life changed, bro. I'm like, oh, snap, I see now. Oh,
right.
I see why I'm losing. I see why I'm failing, bro, because of the desires of my heart. You know what I'm saying? The desires of my heart wasn't pure. Like, I was reading the other day, and it says they was looking for Christ, right? They couldn't find him. When they found him, you know, they were like, yo, where you been at?
Right.
And he was like, y'all came looking for me for bread. You get what I'm saying? Rather than the miracles.
Wow.
Like, remember when he made the bread and the fish?
Right.
They came seeking the bread, but he like, why are you not seeking me for the miracles? Like, I could give you more than that. Because once the bread is ate, it's done.
Right.
Stop looking, stop. He said, don't labor for what perish.
Right.
You feel me? We go hard for what's eventually going to perish, bro.
That's a fact.
And I learned this video will never perish. This is creativity. Creativity will never perish.
Right.
Vision, faith, those things is forever, bro.
Right.
You know, so.
And it's crazy that you said that, because if you think about it, the Bible also says don't store your gifts here where it rots. You know what I mean? So that's even more powerful. And, you know, I want to ask you a question, because you know, a lot of people don't know this about me, but I was raised in the church as well. Grandmother, you know, preaching and everything like that. And I remember the time that I came out here to visit y'all. After hearing you on the phone, like, I actually told him, y'all, listen, I said, yo, where you at? He like, I'm in South Carolina. I was in Brooklyn. I'm like, yo, I'm coming. He didn't even believe me, y'all. I pulled up. Didn't I pull up?
Next day.
I was like, damn, I'm out there. I'm here. Because one thing about knowledge, y'all, is that, you know, I knew I had to get closer to him. And when I came around, you know what I'm saying, and met you and seen you and everything, it was like such a powerful experience for me. But your sister, Talitha, actually gave me a Bible. Now, mind you, this is 2014. I'm a grown man, but she was like, God said to give you this Bible. And I've read Bibles before, but what you said that really jumped off the page was the fact that I wasn't paying attention, and that God wasn't able to plant the seeds into me. So the first book that I read out of the Bible was the book of James. Remember that day after I came and said, yo, I threw all my jewelry away? Yeah. Remember that?
I was trying to get you. I'm like, you might have thrown it away.
It broke me down, man. I was like, vanity, yo. I took the jewels off. That's why you don't see no earrings, none of that. I took it all off because I was able to see the value wasn't in what was seen. So by me having on the chains and the jewels, I felt like, yeah, I'm valuable, but like you just said, that's going to perish. So that's why that's even more dope, man. So you said you was in California, and that you know what I'm saying, you wound up getting in trouble and things like that, and that those were the times that it started to shift your perspective on life. So let me ask you this. What do you feel is your purpose now that you've experienced those hardships and you've made it out of there? What's your purpose now?
That's a good question. You know, I didn't really figure out my full purpose and potential until yesterday. I'm keeping it a buck.
That's fire, though.
Let me show you how God works. We went to the zoo, right? It was my niece's birthday. And I'm watching all the animals in the zoo, and I'm realizing how whatever their gift is, that's what the zoo build around to hinder them.
Right.
So if a bird gift is to fly, they gonna have a ceiling.
Woo!
If a lion gift is to, you know, they're gonna confine the lion, but he don't have a ceiling.
Right.
So I'm like, oh snap! You know your gift by what your enemy is targeting and hindering.
Right.
So boom, if we represent the Lion of Judah, right?
Right.
What makes a lion a lion? It's raw.
Right.
So that's our words, bro. Speaking. So I realized that's what they target the most. This is why most black men either have had records or they try to discredit us, because once you discredit our character, you discredit our words. Right. And now our raw is not loud anymore. You get what I'm saying? So I realized yesterday, wow, you know, and I believe all predominantly, mostly black men, our job and purpose is to do what we're doing now, to speak. Because when a lion roar, everybody in the jungle is quiet. Right. No animal roar like a lion.
And you know what? To piggyback off that, understanding that as lions, we already known as the king of the jungle.
Come on.
You understand? Then you got gorillas, you got elephants.
Right.
But why is the elephant not the king if he's the biggest? Right? Why is the giraffe not the king? He's the tallest.
Right.
It's because the lions roar and the respect that y'all give the lion. You understand?
And guess what? A lion don't fear no other
Don't
animal.
fear nothing. So it's funny that you said that, because if you look at our people, man, everybody asks me, why do I do what I do and what my purpose is. And I always tell people my purpose is to educate. My purpose is to teach and educate the things that I've been through, because you can't pay for experience, people. So if somebody else go through something, if I burn my hand on that stove, I don't want my brother to burn his hand. So I'm going to teach him. I'm going to tell him. And it's so amazing because the Bible says, seek ye first the kingdom, and it all shall be added unto you. So when we think about poverty, when we think about struggle, when we think about stress, we got to understand that it's choice. Right? Because I understand that, it's not easy. You might have been raised in bad times, but I can guarantee you this, and that's why I represent Millionaire Loaded, because I can guarantee you that every single self-made millionaire had a humble beginning. Yeah. They did not start with silver spoons. Yeah. Majority of the people that started with silver spoons go broke because they never found out the true fundamentals to build. Right. You know what I mean? So let's talk about your music, man, because, man, y'all gotta hear this dude's music. You understand? Let's talk about the message that you used to portray. Right. I had to bring that out. Man. You know what I mean? Like, they gotta understand you family.
Right, and it's still out there.
You know what I'm saying? And the message you portray now.
Right. I would say, back then I tried to do what I'm doing now, but it wasn't in me.
Right.
Like, I wanted to shed light, but had no light. Living in darkness. You know, the blind can't lead the blind. So that's what that music was. It was blind leading the blind, and it was anger. It was, pain and brokenness, And it's like, if you're not healed, it's easy to be injured. For an example, if my shoulder broke, right, and I never get it healed, all you gotta do is bump it and I'm gonna feel the pain. Right. This is why some people so easily offended, because they haven't been healed from the old injuries.
Ooh,
right?
Geez.
So when I started doing my music, now I'm healed.
Right.
Like, I'm not angry. Like, if you listen to my old songs, I'm wilding, I'm talking crazy, F the police, this, that, and the third. Like, so now it's to the point where my music before was a problem. I was glorifying the problems of my life. Now this is the solution. The new me. That's why it's New Israel, because this is the solution to, problems. So the music gotta change, because the heart is different.
And let me ask you this, right? Because it's funny, I used to rap like that too. Do you think that you were making your music at that time to conform to what you thought the audience wanted to hear?
Absolutely, that played a part.
Right?
That played a part.
And I think a lot of artists today, and I ain't got nothing against artists, but I think that a lot of them are trying so hard to give the audience what they think they want to hear, and they're canceling out their creativity because you sound like him.
Right.
Y'all sound like them.
Right.
So there's no, you don't really get that boy he nice feeling no more because you sound like the last one. So when you changed your music, like, that was deep to say, you had to heal first to be able to create this new music. Now, when you do your music, what's your message?
Oh man, my message is basically, like the album is, let there be light. So the message comes in different forms, but it's the same message. And the message is freedom. Like, I want people to be free from what you just said. Free from, trying to, basically go the same direction everybody else is going. Because even traffic show you that's not wise. If you go in if everybody go in the same direction, what happened to traffic? Just slow down. But if you're in a lane where nobody's going, you're gonna get there faster. You get what I'm saying? So when I see that, it's like, I want to show them that, there is a reward for good, clean music. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, we could make good fun again. You feel me? Like, we could make the good things cool to do. You feel me? And once we step out on faith, it takes faith to do that, because you going against what everybody is telling you not going to prosper. Everybody telling you, oh, that music, nobody want to hear that. But check this out. My first paid shows was coming from churches, shelters, non-profit organizations. See, they forgetting they thinking small. They trying to appease the club and club bangers. You think these pop singers selling all these records or for just a club? No, when you go to Walmart, you hear pop music, Rihanna. That's how they constantly making their money. If you don't have no song that you could pitch to Walmart, or you know what I'm saying, Red Lobster while people eating, then you don't have music. You're not really profiting. It's just an image that they selling mainly to our people.
And I also feel like that, you know, a lot of the stuff that we hear in today's music is replicated. You know what I mean? Like, how many different ways can you tell me I shot a brother in the head, killed the, you know, F the chick, and it's all reciprocated the same way. It's like, okay, like what else? You know what I mean? And you know, when I listen to your songs, man, like, you know, I got them things on repeat in my car. You know what I mean? And I could go over the head, like I know them word for word, verbatim. And one of the things I admire most about you is that when you seen that it was time to change, you didn't hesitate. And now your creativity is empowering. My 7-year-old daughter sings your songs like she's one of your biggest fans. You know what I mean? So, you know, people, I want y'all to know that this dude came from where I came from. And as we grow together, you know, our message is for y'all to understand that it's never too late to turn it around. You know what I mean? I think we all have this issue where we think people are going to look at us, you know, with judgment and things like that. But you got to keep in mind that they cannot judge you. They don't have permission to judge you. They're not going to be the person that, you know, prospers you. More than likely, and it's sad to say, those be the ones pulling you back. The ones you trying to impress be the ones holding you back, man. So talk to me about the book, man. I know you just wrote a book. What is it about? What's like? Let them know.
It's called From Behind the Bars, man. But I wanted to touch on something you said that was really important. All the music is being replicated, like, because that's the same spirit. Ooh. A tree can only bear the same fruit. So whatever spirit you got in you, you're gonna see life from that perspective. So you either two people in this world. Right. Either you God or the devil. Right. Either you Christ or the beast, Adam or the beast. Right. So they're producing the same fruit. Right. And remember, animals have more babies than people. Right. My dog just gave birth to 11 puppies. Right. Right. So you're gonna have more foolishness than, you know, good music. Right. That's, you know what I'm saying? The path of righteousness is narrow. Not everybody find it. But to answer your question about the book, man, this was a blessing, bro. I never thought I'd write a book. You feel me? Like, you know, growing up, going to school, I never prospered in the classroom. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, my grammar was always bad. Right. I couldn't really spell. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, it was messy. Like, my mom was thinking about putting me in special ed. They used to tell the teacher used to think there was something wrong with me, and it was just like I couldn't focus. Like, it just, my attention span was very short. You know what I mean? And it's like I just wasn't. I believe God didn't have that for me, so it almost seemed impossible for somebody who could barely spell and can't write, no grammar, punctuation, to actually have a book. So what's the message? I know you said it's from behind the bars. So what's the message in your book? What are you talking about? Basically, I'm explaining almost like what the title say, from behind the bars. All good things come from the bottom, right? Even the sun started at the bottom, right? So God will put you in a position, the ones that's in, you know, positions where they're suffering, they give birth to most greatness. That's like a woman. In order for her to give birth to a child, she have to suffer great pain. So pain gives birth to substance. You feel me? So from behind the bars is basically saying this is what God birthed from behind the bars. Because I wouldn't be who I am if I ain't go to jail. You feel what I'm saying? So it's the same thing with anybody that's in a hospital, shelter. I want to let them know, like, listen, from your situation, God want to create something great. Like, some of the most, you know, revelatory books was written from prison. You know, prison made Fred Hampton a celebrity. Prison is the reason why we got the book of Revelations in the Bible that most people can't even interpret. You feel what I'm saying? Paul, you know, all the books Paul written, most of them he wrote from jail. David, he wrote, you know, the book of Psalms on a run for his life. So if you not
Joseph, jail,
from jail, you feel me? So it's like, you're not great if your adversity is not great. Period.
It's funny because, you know what I mean, like, I have my experience with incarceration myself, and one thing that stood out to me in that environment was, it wasn't the fact that everybody that was in there was my type, you know, black, you know what I mean, things like that from the neighborhood. What really got me is that the CEOs would say something like this. He like, it's 15 of y'all in here and 13 of y'all coming back. When he used to say that, he used to come to me, he'd be like, yo, your best friend sleeping with your mom right now. Big shout out to Mr. Clayton, yo. You hear me? That dude was not playing. Every morning, he used to wake us up, your best friend sleeping with your girl. And I used to be like, yo, I'm not coming back. You know what I'm saying? And I've been to jail one time, and that was it. You know what I mean? Same thing with you. One time, that's all it takes. Because at the end of the day, like you just said, your freedom. You know what I'm saying? I can't have a brother telling me when to shower, when to eat. You can't. I'm a big dude. I need to be able to eat when I want to. Yeah. So you know how can they get your book, bro? Where do they have to go to get your book?
You go to my website, NewIsrealmusic.us.
Okay.
My book is on there. The album is on there.
Okay.
So if you don't like hip hop, I hope you like to read. You know what I'm saying? Because you know the message is more important than the music.
Right.
You know. Right. So as long as the message get out, that's all I care about. And I just want people to understand what is right from wrong. Because we living in a time where people don't know what right and wrong is. You know what I'm saying? Right. And if you don't know what right and wrong is, you'll never have peace. Because every time you do the wrong thing, it gives birth to sorrow later.
Facts.
It's fun in the beginning, but the sorrow gonna come right after.
That's why I say, you know, at the end of the day, I always say this: there's no right way to do the wrong thing.
Nah, not at all.
You know what I mean? So when we see people doing things that's wrong, and they thinking, yo, I got away with that, it's still gonna come back to you. You know what I mean?
Your court date just ain't come up yet.
You know what I'm saying? And then don't get it twisted. I always tell people, don't think that he ain't keeping a tally.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where you might have stole a piece of candy and now somebody steal your car. Yeah. So it's like you always gotta live your life like that with that perception. And I think it's so cool that you decided to tell your experience from behind the bars, because a lot of people get behind the bars and they shut down. And I seen on Instagram the other day, it was a picture of 3 people in jail. They were in the jail suits, but their heads were locks. But one of them, their lock was open and he was reading a book. You know what I'm saying? The first time I started reading was in jail as well. But I was reading, you know, those hood classics. Coldest Winter Ever, Donald Boy, Sister Soldier had it lit. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? Like, be more careful, true to the game. But what I realized, I'm like, yeah, man, all successful people, they actually read books that's gonna teach them. Right. And Jada Kids, big shout out to Jada, said if you want to hide something from a brother, put it in a book. Right. You know what I mean? And I know he didn't say that with the intent of hurting people's feelings. He actually said that for you to start reading. Right. Because I can guarantee you that anything you're trying to learn is in a book somewhere. Right. You know what I mean? So that's super deep, man. Let's talk about your music that you got coming out soon. I know you got an album coming out, man, and you know you actually doing a release party for it. Tell the people about that.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a release party in Richmond, VA. Okay. Sponsored by the Cyber Cafe. Shout out to Mario. Yeah, it's gonna be hosted by Nook here, comedian. Okay. You know, so yeah, this is just a blessing, bro. I didn't even expect to do an album release party. It just, you know, the idea came, and that's when it showed me. That's how God speaks to us. He speaks to us through visions, dreams, but ideas. Absolutely. When God give you an idea, bro, you gotta shoot it. That's a fact. That's a fact. Don't move off of what you don't have. Right. See, God will give you an idea before He provide a provision to see if you're gonna move off of faith. Correct. Because I didn't even have the provision to put everything together when I reached out to do the album release. Right. And when I reached out to do the album release, come to find out I got sponsored for it. Fact. So if I would have put my trust in what it seemed, right, money and all of this stuff, I would have never made that move.
That's so powerful, because you know what I'm about to talk about. Right. This podcast. You know what I mean? When this idea came to me, I mean, I was like, man, you know, I don't know a lot of people. Right. You know what I mean? I don't have a big following. I was hesitant. I can't see it. But what I decided, like you said, was at the end of the day, my faith is in what God gave me. So if He gave you an idea to do something, you don't need nobody's validation. You don't even need nobody's help, because He will say who you need, when you need Him. And like, that's the blessing behind the faith in Him, because you know that He's going to make it happen for you. Yes. So what date is that again, you said?
That's going to be on December 30th.
December 30th. So where can people, you know what I'm saying, like get in contact with you at, follow you, like tell them about your social media? You know what I'm saying?
Instagram as NewIsreal. Okay. Facebook, NewIsreal, artist page, personal page, Israel Reese. Okay. So you could get at me there, or you could just go to my website. Okay. Put your email in, sign up, subscribe, and you can reach out that way. Dope. Yeah.
Listen, man, I want to say this, and I want to end this off with this, man. Like, you influenced me. You know what I mean? On so many different levels. Like, you know what I mean? You've inspired me to, you know, become a better person. You know what I mean? With my family, because you've been faithfully married for 10 years? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's fire. You young. So, you know what I mean? A lot of people look at marriage and be like, I don't know. Nah, you've been faithful. Take care of your family, man. And I truly want to say on this camera, like, I love you, bro.
I love you.
You know what I'm saying? I love you, bro. Like real talk. You know what I mean? I really can't wait till we look back on these times and really see how far God has pulled us. You know what I mean? And for my viewers, for my listeners, man, I hope y'all was able to receive the game and the information that we brought to y'all today. But most importantly, what I want y'all to do is like, comment, subscribe so that y'all can stay tuned for Bars for Breakfast, man. We're going to be always coming, talking about valuable information that can help you change your life, and not only your life, but your family's life as well, man. We thank y'all for watching it, and we hope y'all have a blessed and wonderful day. Let's go.